Yo, hello, welcome. Cracked out Vienna, boss bitch, pat ass, teacher mom, Amber B, Bub Zasso, Joshua Lee, shit show, Alex V, Ms. Joe. That almost rhymed. Joshua Lee, shit show, Alex V, Bubs, or Miss Joe. Yeah, it does rhyme. Six Bang, Liz K, thank you for modding. Pat S, thank you for modding. Silver Diamond, Nat Clo 2.0. Yeah, I'm not whining about not talking about Rebel tonight, not Chloe. And you know what? You can go fuck yourself, dude. Go skis around some other people and try and create drama. Brown Eyes Girl, Nima, Joey Sams, Bedtime Clown. Now I lost my place and I'm just reading in ridiculous directions. Dave Peterson, Notorious Ash, Teeth. Heard a lot about you, Teeth. Um, and a bunch of other people. You're not a mod for the same reason a lot of other people aren't mods. I have the same mods that I started this channel with, and I'm still quite happy with them. So that's why. Not modding anybody. Cut it out. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I'm not really here to rant and scream like an idiot. We got plenty of people doing that, although I'm not entirely leaving that out of the question. I said hello to you, shit show. I will say it again. Hello, shit show. That also rhymes. Last couple of weeks, we've had the lead up to the witch hunt, and now the witch hunt is on. Everybody and their brother wants to be the next person to out the great predator in the community. Everybody wants to find the predators. We need to find them. We need to find the people that hid and sheltered and didn't out these people. And then we all act surprised and we attack the people. We attack them. We do streams about them and yell about them and say, well, you know, in my opinion, it's even worse than that. They shaved puppies once or whatever about people that are completely innocent and not involved with this at all. And here's the problem. It's in the title card for the stream. It's called victim blaming. And I watched a lot of it last night and today, a lot of it. So we're going to take one specific instance here and we'll talk about it, which is the thing with Steve's 6.8 and Swags. Okay. Now, a lot of people are jumping into this late, getting caught up to speed, coming on to things, figuring it out, having opinions. And that's fine. You're allowed to have opinions, but so am I. And this is my panel. So you get my opinion tonight. So here's the thing. Steve was around this community for a long time. He's not a new guy, didn't come in with Vegas Valley, wasn't a noob, was in everybody's chats, donated to a lot of people, used to throw super chats at people, donated to Andrew, obviously donated to Swag, was not any kind of a weirdo. Nobody had any reason whatsoever to suspect anything about Steve. Nothing. It was just a regular chatter. We all knew of him. I don't want to say anybody knew him because we didn't know him. He donated to people and he donated to Swag, among others, which is fine. Like a lot of money, not like the amount of money Rebel thinks, but a lot of money changes hands over YouTube, especially around here. I've watched auditors collect tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in their little scam fests and their, oh, I went out and got myself intentionally arrested. There's 5 different people running cash apps for me. Everybody donate for my bail. And that money never gets returned bullshit. So everybody can miss me with the money's bad thing because the money's always fine until you have a reason to bitch about it. The money's fine. The money's fine. Don't bitch about the money. If some thirsty motherfucker wants to come in here and throw buckets of cash at somebody on YouTube for attention or responses or whatever, fucking let them. That's fine. There's nothing weird about that. You don't get to get all judgy about it. So he was donating to Swag. That's fine. And then they met up for whatever reason. And that's fine too. Tons of people on here have met each other. There have been big fucking meetups of people. There have been barbecues and cookouts and picnics and 4th of July get-togethers. Lots of people have met up on here. It's not weird. There's nothing bizarre about it. I guarantee when you go to a family reunion and somebody brings their new boyfriend, nobody runs a background check on them. Knock it off. And they met up. And then for whatever reason, things went sour and she stopped responding to him. And I guess in the way that he thought he should be responded to. And so from what I'm understanding, and Swag's here, and Swag can answer, Swag can tell me if I'm wrong. He messaged her with a threat and basically said, wait till you see what I'm going to do to you in the community based on my history and you talking to me. And at that point, Swag went to Tonic, and Swag told Tonic and told Tonic who this was. And Tonic did what Tonic does. He did a video and he put it out there and he posted it on his channel. It's still there 7 months ago. This isn't new. 7 months ago, Tonic put this video out on his channel. Now, if I remember correctly, this was right about the same time Tonic did some other really dumb shit. So a lot of people were very pointedly ignoring Tonic at the time. So maybe a lot of people didn't even see the video because they just weren't watching his shit. They had done what people do around here and went, well, I'm going to unfollow you and never watch you again because I think you did something I don't like. So there, not going to give you a view. So they probably missed the video entirely and knew nothing of it. Now, a case can be made that nobody ran jumping panel to panel to panel to panel, making a big deal out of this. But in my opinion, a case can also be made that when you've got somebody that's threatening a woman and you're protecting that woman by not putting her out there and putting her in the spotlight so she can make more of a target of herself, that wouldn't have been the right response anyway. So this all sort of gets brought to light last night and today with people figuring this out and Swag seriously nutting up and getting on a panel and answering the tough questions and admitting where she thinks she was at fault, which takes a lot of balls, even if she wears them on her chest, and doing her thing. And I applaud her for that. I still don't think Swag did anything wrong. I still don't think, I mean, Swag could have used better judgment, but I don't think she did anything wrong. And it took all of 4 minutes for the victim blaming pieces of shit to come screaming out of the fucking woodwork. Good old Ginger had to, excuse me, can I speak to a manager? Her ass up onto the panel, just like slightly less whiny Amanda Erickson, and start fucking tearing into Swag. Bitch, what gives you the place to attack the fucking victim in this? And pat yourself on the back because you're such a great human being. Number one, Ginger, first of all, we remember your bullshit when the flood happened and when Tonic got attention that you thought you deserved. You said stupid shit like he should have just stood up and he would have been fine. And you were all pissy because you were talking about having to leave the Sanibel vacation house and head to the second or third house in South Carolina and telling everybody what a great human being you were. And you tell everybody how beautiful you are. You may want to think back to the fact that there have been people in voices with you, Ginger, when your cam slipped and you cammed up and people saw you before you run around telling everybody that you are a complete snack. And I quote, I'm not sure what you're a snack for, but I don't think it's what you think it is. So, you got Ginger went up and decided to tear fucking strips off of Swag for this. Today, you've got Rebel, who's a piece of shit. You've got Huck, who is like when you clean out a garbage disposal, that shit that doesn't even wash out, but just stays stuck between the little flapper, the backflow preventer, and the bottom of the valve there, that's Huck. You got Sweet Sugar who can't blow her fucking nose, that hates everyone. She's campaigning on this. All of these people are attacking the fucking victim. Huck said some shit in Rebels chat that let's just say she would never have the balls to say that within striking distance of a living human being. I know she wouldn't. She'll sit there and fucking say it. There it is, right there. Huck said that Swag got 10,000 because she offered one of her kids to this guy. Huck actually fucking said that in a chat. Huck's also said that like Naven, quote unquote, knew about Mouse, but didn't out him to the community because Huck's a fucking retard. Everybody knew about Mouse. The panels where Naven was in Mouse's, in chats was when Mouse was running around in a school bus and nobody knew exactly where he was. So there were a couple of people that would hop in his chats to try and figure out where the fuck he was so that they could alert the local authorities because Mouse is also a non-compliant sexual offender who doesn't register. So when he's not registered, people try and figure out where he is so they can notify the locals to get him registered so people who live there know who he is. But Huck doesn't understand that. But anyway, let's get back to this point that the reason people don't come forward and fucking tell this community when something like this happens and when there's a predator in the mix or a horrible person in the mix. And I'll give you another example. When that British lady came forward that was Prime's previous victim, and she came forward and they brought her over and she told her story about it. She was telling how he was posting horrible shit in Discord to her and sending her gore and death threats and shit like that. And some of the people here went, wait a minute. Gore and death threats? Do you have any proof of that? Can you prove it? Because unless you show me the gore and death threats, I don't believe it. I think you're lying. I think you're lying about that. When we know Prime's done that to shit to people over here. This is why people don't come out with this. This is why people don't tell you when there's a shit bag in your mix, because half all y'all are just as likely to attack them as you are the person who actually did the bad thing. In your frothing need, and if this doesn't apply to you, fine, then it's not meant for you. But it does apply to some people. If your frothing need to attack someone, anyone, at any given time, overrides the basic humanitarian instinct you have to feel bad for someone who is victimized, then you are the problem. You're worse than the fucking predators because you're actually giving them cover to operate in. You're giving them a target-rich environment and a safe workplace because people are afraid to talk about what happened to them because you'll take it, you'll twist it, you'll turn it into something it wasn't, and then you'll beat the victim with that. Naven, Bootywort, and a handful of other people have worked their ass off for years to root out and expose these fucking people. But they don't go public with it until they're 100% sure. Until they're absolutely certain that this person is on paper, that this person is guilty, this person is who they think they are. They don't go running around and start accusing people of shit because that is the responsible way to do it. Once they're completely certain, then the papers go out, then the news goes out, then everybody it gets to know who they are. But the other way to do it, the way other people around this community do it, is they get the wrong information on somebody and run with it. And they go, this guy over here is this dude over there that I found, and they're wrong. 9 times out of 10, they're wrong. They got bad information. They don't know how to read a police report. They don't know how to read court papers. Or they just have entirely the wrong name that they looked up and been verified and they're now running with. And they'll run pillar to post screaming that they're putting their foot on the necks of chomos when they're not putting their foot on anything. They're ruining someone's reputation while being wrong. And they'll take absolutely no responsibility for that. Won't take a second's responsibility for it. And if you point out that they're wrong, they'll turn around and attack you. And then these people will stand there and go, but it's for the children. We're trying to protect the children. We care about the children. The only reason I'm doing this is because of that. I care about the children. 30 seconds later, they're doxing the ever-loving fuck out of somebody's kids because they're mad at them. You're not doing it for the children. You're doing it because you get your itty-bitty anger boner on when you get to dox somebody and then dare them to pull up, knowing full well nobody's ever going to pull up. You know what makes somebody a pussy? Pulling up. You know what makes somebody not a pussy? Sitting back and waiting for you to put your foot so far in your fucking mouth that you choke on it. But seriously, man, like, I don't, it would never even occur to me to attack the fucking victim in a case like this. Never in a million years would it occur to me to attack the victim. There's something wrong with you if you're doing that. There's something wrong with you, defend, if you're sitting there and coming up with scenarios in your brain where there must have been quid pro quo, where she must have done something to deserve this, or she must have done something that you can then look down on and go, yeah, she a hoe. for this, when we know for a fact that there are broken human beings on this platform that will throw money at people as long as the day goes, will just hurl money at people for attention. We've seen many of them, and they'll keep coming back too. You can block them, they'll find their way around the block and come back and keep fucking doing it. So stop trying to justify this shit. Stop bringing people's kids into this shit. Stop getting on panels and clutching your pearls. Well, now we'll switch over to the Vic, what's his name, DJ Wraith shit. People are jumping up in panels and going, "I'm a parent and I have children." Okay, so fucking what? They're not on YouTube, are they? Like, don't act that like because this dude sat on one panel, and I'm not taking away from the fact that DJ Wraith is a scumbag, not taking away from the fact that Steve 6.8 is a scumbag, or the fucking Thumper, or this Dave guy, or any of the people that support them. I'm not making excuses for them. Trust me, believe me on this. However, to jump up there and start crying like your children were exposed to some guy on YouTube who's 1,000 miles from you, stop inserting yourself in this shit. It's not you. You had nothing to do with it. You weren't in danger. You weren't threatened. You weren't anything. You're just trying to be part of the fucking pearl clutching and drama because everybody's running around with torches and pitchforks and looking for Frankenstein's monster. The next 2 weeks, probably 10 people will get accused of shit. Maybe one or two might actually be some glimmer of truth behind it. But that won't stop the witch hunt. The witch hunt will happen anyway because people are now convinced it's the satanic panic of the 80s and 90s. They're convinced they're among us. They walk among us. They're hiding right here, right now. We got to root them out. And suddenly people will start looking back at jokes and going, well, that was a little off color. Oh, get them, roar, torches and pitchforks and burning pyres and shit like that. It's I don't know. This has been boiling up in me since I saw Ginger open her festering gob last night, and it was getting even worse today while I was watching Swag's chat as we were timing out sock after sock after, or not Swag's, Katie's chat, sock after sock after sock. We're coming in to take shots. Right there. There's one right there. You can fuck right off. Like, these are the people, like, it's fine. You want to troll people on doing dumb shit. If you want to troll, if you want to troll Roz for paying some chick's phone bill and getting stiffed, fine. That's relatively harmless trolling. I do it mostly as a joke. I know Roz probably meant well, but it's easy to get under his skin with it. That's fine. If you're trolling people about their children, there's something wrong with you. There's literally something broken in your brain where normal compassion for other human beings should be. It's that spot is missing. It's not there. Like, there's something wrong with you. Ben Holden, thank you very much for the $2 for the itty bitty anger boner. I mean, like stuff like this. Tonic says, "Look, I'm here to take shots at Swag, but that's because she's a gay wad." Because he's trying to make her feel better. Now somebody's going to sit there and be, "Oh, it's homophobia." The same people that will sit there and question her as a parent or a mother or all that other shit, they'll get offended at the dumbest stuff. It's ridiculous. I'm not sure where I was going with this, but that's a solid 23 minutes or 20, well, minus the intro, 19 minutes of unhinged ranting. Polly says that Ginger was a real judgmental twat while she sits in her ivy tower, all cushy with her husband and not a want for nothing. Correct. That's exactly the way she is. That's the way she's always been. She's a cunty bitch who just sits there and just meh about everything. I'm going to sit back and my man comes home and feeds me bonbons. Bullshit. Naughty Audie with 19.99 for big gigantic anger boner. Thank you. Thank you. All right. I guess if anybody actually wants to discuss this, I guess I'll drop a link and we can chat. Pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. I don't know. It just this has been irritating me for a while. It's people seem to be more pissed off at Vic than they are about um Matilda was exposed in April. It was exposed in April. That's the point. Tonic did a video on it in April.
I'm just looking for a definition of a gay wad. Thank you.
And since that video went out, Matilda, I don't think anybody's seen this dude. I don't think he's been around.
Oh, jeez, it's me.
Oh, jeez, it's you.
Yeah, he had to bail. No, I couldn't agree. I think Ginger was out of line with 99% of what she said. And if you pay attention, by the end of the stream, she admits that she has no clue what the fuck she's talking about and wasn't paying attention to what was said in the beginning of the stream.
Okay, hold on a second.
You're good.
Hello?
It's hard to take you serious.
Oh, Jesus.
Hello?
Yeah. I don't care about Steve Point, whatever gay. I do want to know what a gay wad is and why Swag is one, and she should answer that.
You're the biggest gay wad around. Why should she have to answer for you?
Look, I don't know. Because I'm just that handsome.
Do you feel better now? Do you
in fact, you know what? I'm actually going down to the court right now. I'm going to change my name to Dan Handsome.
Hello, caller. You're on the air.
Oh, you're really going to do my line?
Yeah, of course I am.
Just for you.
Listen, if Swag's going to go around,
I honestly wasn't expecting that. Kind of caught me off guard.
Back.
If Swag's going to go around this community as a gay wad, she should be up here answering questions of why she is one.
Yeah, fuck you. She doesn't have to answer shit.
I agree. I agree. Swag needs to come up here and address this. This is far more of an important issue than something we've addressed 7 fucking months ago.
I'm not really. I don't think it has anything to do with the situation between Swag and this dude. I think it has. What I'm talking about is not that situation. It could be any two people. What I'm talking about is what a core group of this community does with immediately attacking the victim instead of holding their anger where it belongs, which is the person that's doing the victimization.
Yep.
Corrosive, you can take down the stream. I mean the overlay.
Look, Corrosive, I have
fighting a porn bomb, AC.
Corrosive, I'll have you know that I have my finger on the
pulse. Hold on. He needs me to say, right. Corrosive, I'm not going to porn bomb you. Jesus
you
Christ.
You might not, but the other person might. Who the hell are you, KC?
When you tell lies that I...
Oh, there you go.
Here we go. Jesus Christ.
Another one banned.
You as well as everyone knows that you guys can't see what's going on backstage, dude.
That's true. I didn't see that Prime was back there, so my bad.
You're a huge porn bomber, AC. We get it.
But Corrosive, you know that as a reporter, I've always had my finger on the pulse of the belted arm of the heroin addict of the media. You know, and this is just one of many stories that we need to cover that are actually relevant. What is a gay wad? Why is Swag a gay wad?
What? Like, really? Did you get that out? You feel better? Is it all out of your system now? Can you talk?
Well, no, I mean, I also need to masturbate, but yeah, I get that out.
Well,
Well,
keep
you
that
do
to
that every
yourself,
night.
okay?
I do.
You don't ask
Well,
about
huffing
it.
paint.
And I guess it just amazes me how many people that insist on hanging around just need to wallow in misery at all times. That's all they fucking do. They wallow in misery.
Steph,
heard
are you
that,
hiding and protecting the gay wads in this community?
You're a gay wad. Am I protecting you, fag? No.
Wait. Is Rada for gay wads? Because I'm against gay wads. I'm very against.
So,
Can we get the
you saw
debate
her
going?
stream
Gay
today,
wad versus
right?
Yeah,
anti-gay
I
wad.
mean, if Rada's gonna be for them, I'm against them.
God,
I'm
you guys are like 12.
very much.
You're 12. You're like 12 years old. Stop.
I
That
think
might
you're
be
giving it too much
generous.
credit.
Well, now I got to start a campaign against swag. I didn't want to have to do that because I was friends with swag, but now I guess I'm not.
Why?
Well, because I'm against gay wads and she's a gay wad.
Oh, Jesus.
Why don't you pay attention, Steph?
Yeah,
Dude, when you come
is real.
into the backstage with the porn bomb already running, what makes you think I'm going to let you up?
They messed up.
Kristen, did you ever think that they were just trying to share that with you personally?
Yeah, it was meant for
Well,
you, sir.
If that's what they're into, it was 3 what I assume were very attractive gentlemen, all heavily involved in something.
Oh, he's got you pegged.
And they wanted you to know that. You should
Pun
be
intended?
honored.
No, it's not me that was being pegged in that scenario. It was one of those gentlemen. Definitely was though.
Wow.
Maybe 2 out of the 3.
Ain't bad. So anyway, if we can get off the gay wad topic and onto the wallowing in misery and victim blaming and having to find people when they are down and kick the shit out of them because it's the only thing that makes certain people feel better about their own horrid lives.
AKA Huckleberry.
One of many. Sweet Huck, Sweet Rebel, fucking Magic's all over it again.
Gee.
I don't know how cold it is in fucking Philly or whatever where you guys are, right? But in Minnesota, it is fucking 20 degrees in the daytime, like fucking 11 degrees in the nighttime. Can you imagine being in a double wide trailer when that shit's going on? Yeah, no, I'd be miserable too.
Look, you could hitch it to the back of your truck, drive away with it.
10 fucking degrees, Steph. Outside. It's 10 degrees outside of Minnesota at night.
Now, don't forget, there's a jaguar giving birth to
That is enough to fucking. That's enough to freeze a nutsack to a fucking leg.
Wow. That was very descriptive.
Only you. But fuck Huck. She continued today to take full advantage of a situation that was brought to YouTube and put a bunch of nonsense, lies, bullshit out there like she has done to all 4 of us on panel.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, she even said she was going to take it upon herself to call the police and report swag for not protecting her kids. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with you? I mean, we know she's not going to do it. She never does. But what the fuck is wrong with a human being to have them say something like that?
Well, how did it work out the last time Huck contacted the Florida police?
I once froze a nut to my left leg and I turned into a half a gay wad.
God, nobody cares.
Half of
How did it work out the last time Huck contacted the Florida police? It didn't work out the way she actually had it planned, did it?
Hello?
Curtis just
Right.
You're so quick on the trigger, man. AC lets him talk for a bit.
She says it, Maddie, because she's a garbage human being.
Look, I'm not gonna lie. Last night he was kind of funny. He did step over the line, and that's just fucking typical Prime shit. But
he always steps over the line every single time. Like, I mean, Curtis was right to do what he's doing. It's just like, man, get in like a set at least. Like,
I just need to verify it's him so I can ban that account from StreamYard. So he has to go make more accounts.
Right.
I'm curious, how many accounts of his do you have blocked?
Probably a lot. Hambone says so. This guy was creeping around.
No Hambone.
says, so this guy was creeping around for a year, not being seen and sending Swag money for favors. She had his name and never Googled it. Number one, he wasn't creeping anywhere. He was in everybody's chats. He threw money to a lot of people.
Right.
Just like, okay,
He threw money to
I
me.
have never.
I didn't see.
What was that? I actually went back and looked through my super chats tonight to see if he had ever donated to me, and he didn't. He never super chatted me, but I realized there was what was that one guy? Was it Joey Bags? No, Joey something. He used to give me $50 every time I streamed, and I haven't seen him in forever. It was one of those Massachusetts guys. It never occurred to me to look the guy up. It never occurred to me to fucking Google somebody's name. You know, no, this was. I'll look up his name later when I remember, but I don't think I've seen the guy in a while. But like, y'all, if you people feel the need to run a background check on every human being you meet, I'm sorry for your life.
Something wrong with you. At the end of the day, Swag had a relationship with this person, whether it was romantic or whatever. They had some sort of a relationship. And the moment that she found out, unless anybody can prove otherwise, she made it public. And Swag took a break. And trust me, nobody feels worse about this whole fucked up situation than Swag.
Joey Sams. That's who I'm thinking of. Joey Sams.
I've talked to her. She feels awful. There's nothing anybody else can say about Swag that she's not already saying to herself. So fuck off. Leave her alone. You don't know the ins and outs of what happens between two people unless you were fucking there. And nobody's asking for your fucking opinion or your judgment.
Oh, it's Rebel. As soon as he said y'all got money from the pedo, no wonder y'all are cool. I knew who it was.
There you go.
No, I'm not letting Rebel up. Fuck that little shitbag.
Fair enough. I was trying to fucking talk to him about Juice WRLD because, like, the anniversary of Juice WRLD's death is coming up December 8th, and rest in peace. Gone too soon.
Actually, serial killer. Multiple people will say they took a thing from the guy. Swag's been honest up to the penny. Andrew admitted that he took $1,600, $1,400 or $1,600. Tonic has admitted that he took some money. In fact, I think Steve donated to the hurricane fund as well, if I'm not mistaken. I could be.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't.
I think I
can almost guarantee.
New.
It's me.
I can almost guarantee he donated to the shit show a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could show my
big old gay.
cash app. Says I don't get 2 shits. Yeah, I took money from the fucking guy. I don't give a fuck.
Well, again,
Fucking what you can do,
there's a complete difference if there's somebody floating around here going, yeah, I like kids, and you know he's on paper and you're taking money from him, and somebody that nobody suspects and then disappears the instant they're outed.
Right.
Kind of like the Savage Dave and the fucking Thumper 88. Please, everybody, don't do me a favor. Don't tell anybody that I'm friends with Thumper 88. Can we leave this backstage, please?
Savage Dave is live right now defending his disgusting comments that he made.
Of course.
Yeah.
Steph, I just got him to admit he was 18 when he groped up, kissed, and felt up a fucking 14-year-old guy.
Yeah, no, and according
the
to
guy
him,
just
if you do the time, you're all good. That's what he said.
But Tonic, I'm sure they got into the relationship. Hold on, I'm sure they got into the relationship when he was 17 and she was 13. So that totally changes everything.
So that makes it totally yeah. Don't get me started.
Oh man, like the guy just straight admitted to being a fucking like you guys can be mad. Oh, yeah, somebody come out that so she's not a pedo. You're fucking making that. No, dude, he just admitted to that. He said it happened straight up. Like,
17
18
isn't
adult.
13, 14 definitely is. I mean,
but he's saying when he was 18, he was a teenager, so it was okay. That's what he's saying.
No. When you go to Pornhub, when you go to Xhamster, when you go to Xvideo, when you go to any one of them, they ask, "Are you 18? Are you 18?" You know why they ask that? Because 18's considered a fucking adult.
It is.
Fucking retard.
Fully capable of making their own decisions and being responsible for them. How about that?
You can't even smoke cigarettes at 18
I would say the whole smoking cigarettes thing, but I think they increased the smoking age to like 21.
They did. They moved it to 21.
Smoking, drinking, and handguns in some states.
Yeah. Ugh,
You can still
whatever.
vote, you can still be drafted, and you can still be executed in death penalty states.
Give it time. Yes, he was saying that she was mature for her age, Alex 09, and that she came on to him. And
Yeah, they
that
always
he
say
was
that.
just, yeah. It's fucking gross. And
Joshua Lee, that's not exactly an oddly specific porn site. It's like the second largest site out there. It's like
what are you
Pornhub, then
talking
Xhamster.
about?
real quick, and I
Yeah,
gotta hop
what the
off. This is my
fuck?
thing. We've been lucky within our little community to not have so many pedos or pedo protectors infiltrate or come around, because we have always stood on the exact same line that it's not okay. Fuck anybody that's close to it, fuck anybody that's near to it, or anybody that looks the other way, fuck all of it. We've been lucky because we've all held that line for a really long time. And then you see this Vegas Valley community, and they don't have a line. They're all over the goddamn place. And how many in the last couple of weeks have you found? I mean, it's over 3.
I
Just the last
myself
2
was
weeks.
on Pornhub last night for research purposes only, of course, and it did ask me if I was 18.
Awkward.
Yeah. So I
It was
think
for
once
research.
You
once
said
there's
awkward. I
cracks,
figured.
cracks in the wall, they're gonna seep in. They're gonna take advantage of it. Before you know it, you end up with a whole crew from the fucking Vegas Valley side.
But here's what I want. I want to be part of a community, group, sector, whatever you want to call it. I want to be part of a collective where when somebody finds out about something like this, or even has a whiff of it, they feel empowered to stand up and mention it to somebody, and that they're not going to be the one attacked for bringing this to public light.
Yeah.
That's what I want. I want people to feel that if they step forward and have information like this, that people are going to back
I thought
them.
I did the right thing by telling, but like now it's like being twisted that I knew before when I totally fucking didn't. I did not fucking know. And I feel like now whoever's like has the most people in chat or whatever, regardless of what I say, is gonna, like people are just gonna
have
believe what they're
questions.
people are gonna believe what they want to believe. So
that too, but people are gonna have questions. They are.
And yeah, so I mean, I want to see proof that I knew, and I want to see my response to it. I want to see that he told me, because he never fucking said a word. I don't give a fuck if he told somebody he told me or whatever the fuck. I want to see proof I knew, because I never fucking goddamn knew. I would never be okay with bringing that fucking sorry motherfucker here. Like, what the fuck?
Obviously, I don't think
what the fuck?
I don't think any right-thinking human being is saying you would have been okay with that. It's only the dregs.
No, there are people that are saying that. So
there are
right, but they're the dregs of fucking humanity. They are misery wallowers who have to sit there and shit on people who are already down to make themselves feel better.
I don't know if everybody remembers. I think Carosa was said this at the beginning, that this happened all around the time that Tonic was playing fuck games. But that video that Tonic played, or he put together, that video we ended up playing at the shit show. So it wasn't like
there were 5 dudes in that video. Wow.
5.
Okay, sorry, go ahead. Yeah, 5 guys. And that's where Chuck said she had the other night. 5 guys. Anyway, go ahead.
I bet. But no, I mean, like you said, we played that at the shit show. And I want to say it was also played on a couple of other channels, because we were trying to make sure that our side of the community was aware of. That's why every time that, like, I'm not gonna lie, there was like I have a bunch of people that are blocked in my YouTube fucking studio. And for whatever reason, I forgot that Steve was part of them. He jumped into chat one day, and somebody reminded me with the quickness. I want to say it was like one of the girls or Chicky or one of them, and they were like, "Hey, don't forget, he's banned for a reason." I was like, "Why was he banned again?" That Chomo. Oh, that's right. Fuck yeah. Goodbye.
Can I just say one more thing before I hop off?
Well, hold on. Swag, I gotta
want-
hop off. So,
Okay. Go ahead.
wish you the best, babe. Thanks for having me up, Corrosive. ACL. Talk to you later. Bye, guys.
Yep.
Like everybody's like telling me like don't like, over explain anything. Don't, you know, but I want to because it's my truth. It's like what happened, you know? But then when I say something, it's like, oh well, you didn't say that on Saturday, you know, you didn't say that on this stream, you know? And so I'm just to the point right now, like I'm not saying anything else about it. I didn't know. I found out in April when I fucking told Tonic. That's it. Like, there's nothing else to fucking, like, whatever proof there is, I want that, like, I would love to see it as well. So, fuck him for that. And he's getting exactly what he wanted, you know, like, now I am labeled this fucking horrible monster that fed my kids to him and all this fucking shit, you know, and people are just like, you know, protect the predator, you know, whatever. So.
Well, I will say I've seen far more support for you than people
yes,
going
and
against
you know what? To be
so.
honest, I appreciate every single one of you guys that like believes my story or whatever. It's not like it's the truth that I'm saying. I didn't find out until April. He tried to weaponize his fucking crime against me. Like, fuck him for that. I didn't fucking do it. I'm not the predator. But I feel like today I'm being treated like that. So.
To answer STL's question is why did Bird feel the need to go public with it if everybody knew back in April? Probably two reasons. One, to illustrate that it's more common than we like to think. And two, because right now Bird is the big bad pedo catcher and that's what he's doing. And he's deciding that, you know, in his own opinion, based on probably sort of maybe something he thinks that this person is probably bad. And like I said, we've got a couple of weeks of this coming and like at least 10 people will get accused. It's just, this is the way these things work. Now everybody's shaking every bush and looking sideways at everyone else, and things will get taken wrong, and maybe one actual person will be found.
Well,
Like, this hasn't been easy whatsoever. I was I'm still terrified, you know, like anything could happen, you know, whatever. But like the first few months I was like panic attacks, like I didn't know. And like if he could touch a kid, could fucking kill somebody. Like I feel like murder and child predators are like 1 and 1, you know, like fuck him. I'm thankful nothing happened to me. I'm thankful, like
Hi, Randy.
I'm just thankful, you know, like he's a fucking piece of shit. He fucking absolutely fucking manipulated. He used his money and, you know, whatever.
Yeah, and I'm
an idiot. I
should
have fucking looked him up. I should have. Like, what the, I'm an idiot. Like, so stupid.
Swag, I also understand why you didn't go panel to panel screaming about this at the time. He did threaten you. You were coming from a place of being potentially putting yourself in more harm or your kids in more harm's way. So I get why a big deal wasn't made of it and a giant call out, you know, everything done. I mean, that makes sense. I losing words mainly because AC keeps making noise and now you're
sorry.
AC.
Cow.
Shush you. And I understand that. And so I get why that was probably the best way to do it, was just to have Tonic do the video he did, which I guess people who needed to see saw, and the word kind of got out. The people that don't pay that much attention are just hearing about it now, but he hasn't been around, at least that we know of. I mean, he could be anybody, but
yeah,
I mean, he hasn't been around as himself.
I just like, it's like, so like now that I think of it, like it's so stupid that I even, like I didn't Google his name. Like how it's so easy because I had his Cash App name, you know, like I could have, and I just, if I could take it back, I absolutely would. There's nothing I can do today except learn from it. I absolutely, like, I even wanted to like go around and tell people about my situation, but I knew as soon as I did, like people would say, well, you knew beforehand. Oh, you did it for the money, you know, like, no. And he didn't give me $10,000 right like one lump sum. No, it was $20 here, $20 there over time. And when he told me $10,000, I was like, what the fuck? Because I didn't believe him at all. If somebody told you from just donating that they gave you $10,000, like, I don't know, it just shocked me. I was like, damn, $10,000, holy fuck.
Well, and it sounds like he used the lure of the big check to get close to you.
Yep.
You know, that was his excuse for meeting up with you, was to give you that lump sum, which you had earmarked for something. I don't know if you talked about why, but you know, there was a reason that he was giving you that money. And so, yeah, now I can see the manipulation behind that.
Yeah. He absolutely fucking manipulated me. Like, I'm a single mother. Like, I needed that money. Like, to be honest, I don't get to spend money on myself. So he was sending me things. It's that simple. Like, he was just buying me things. Like, and I appreciated every fucking, like, but I appreciated every fucking thing. I told him thank you all the fucking time. Like, but now, you know what? Fuck him. And I do wish I wish I fucking would have got him for every fucking little sorry fucking thing that sorry motherfucker has. Fuck him. Piece of shit.
Is an understandable emotion.
I'm like, even speaking about, like, it just enrages me that he knew exactly what he was doing as well. Like, he knew that he was gonna hide this. And before he even came, that the night that he was leaving Kansas, he said that he had a flat tire and he couldn't make it. Like, he couldn't come. And I was like, you know, kind of bummed out. Like, well, you know, we had a long conversation, and he's like, let me see if I could just get my tire fixed, you know? And like, now thinking about that, him getting a flat, like, now I think about that and I'm thinking, like, maybe that was, he had cold feet and he didn't want to come out here. But he never told me anything when he was here, nothing. Like, he was pissed that I was nervous.
Yeah.
But I don't know. People are going to try to fucking say whatever or do whatever. I want to see the proof. I don't want like it to say, like, him to say, well, oh, I have to tell Jen something. Like, no. I want to see him actually tell me. I want proof. I want to see. So
Yeah, I mean, I think
I didn't know. Like, if I see something, it's made up. Like, I didn't know. I didn't fucking know. That motherfucker, I didn't know. And why would anybody believe him?
Yeah, I think Andrew initially misread that comment, and maybe it got through to him. But when I heard him read that, he said, well, you know, he said, well, I got a comment that said, I'm going to tell her. And then he's like, so he told you. And I'm like, no, going to and did are two very different things. Nobody knows what happened in between those two, but we do know. I mean, you've shown me the screen cap of the DM he sent you, which is when you found out and immediately blocked him.
Yep,
and then went and told Tonic.
I blocked him and I fucking sent the information to Tonic. Like, there was nothing more I can, like, I was shocked. When he said that, I was like, I fucking seen red. I was so mad. So, like, there wasn't an emotion. Like, everything fucking just ran through my head of the situations that could have happened. Shoulda, coulda, woulda, you know? Like, why did I do, like, what the fuck was I thinking? Was it worth it, you know? Every fucking thing. And, like, today, no, it wasn't fucking worth it. No, it fucking wasn't worth it.
Yeah.
Our safety, like, our safety is more important. My kids need me. It's not like fucking, it's not funny, you know? It's like, I'm not playing with my life like that, you know? It's fucking scary.
Well, obviously. And that's, it would
not
be a
for
completely different,
$10,000. Fuck out of here.
it would be a completely different scenario if you knew and still invited him over, but you didn't. So most of what people are running with here, most of what people are running with is predicated on the basis that you knew and still did it. Since you didn't, then that's all them just scrabbling for something to start shit with.
Yeah, I just felt like I went on a month and a half break. I got out of Discord. I didn't give a fuck about anything, you know? Like, I was just, like, so fucking pissed off at myself. I was spending too much time on YouTube and Discord and all the shit. And then I like here I am again. So I think like I'm going to take a break again and get the fuck out of here and whatever. But I am going to hop on Andrew's live this weekend or whatever, and I guess, you know, explain myself again or see the proof or whatnot. So, but after that, I'm going on a well-needed long vacation. So,
Yeah.
fuck this shit.
Yeah, I think STL has a valid question here. He says, "Is there any advice you can offer to other women, swag, after this ordeal?"
To be honest, if there are people like before he even met me, he already sent me $6,000. Like not one lump sum, but like 20, 20, 50, 40, you know. So before he even met me in person. So people saying, "Oh, well, she had to do something." He already sent me 6,000 before he even seen me in person. So if people are sending you that kind of money or buying you gifts or whatever the case may be on the lookout, have your guard up, because you know there's probably something, you know, on a creep on the other side, to be honest. Like I wish I would have like seen the red flags. Now I see them, but I didn't before because I was blinded, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say big money like that should definitely it maybe not a red flag, but it should definitely be a yellow flag, and keep an eye out on the track.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, I don't owe anybody an explanation, but I feel like I have to like I don't, it's like if you know your truth and you just have to like you have to put it out there, like, because you're not lying, like you want people to know, but you know, I don't know. I can only say it so many times, you know. I didn't know.
Well, yeah, Bama Green Eyes said all she received was pics of him in nighties, no money. So
Ooh, awkward. Yeah.
Notorious Ash says if anybody's looking to part with 10K or however much, hit her up.
I mean, if anybody else, no, I'm just kidding. I'm done. My Cash App is closed. Fuck the Cash App. I'm closing that motherfucker. I don't want another fucking dollar from anybody ever again. Fuck out of here. So there's
with money comes strings, almost always.
yes. More money, more problems. So here we are.
I mean, I've never dropped a Cash App or GoFundMe or a fucking given anybody my phone number, and there's a reason. If people
And
want
you know
to
what?
throw a super chat, feel free, but
Yeah,
that's the end of it.
absolutely. I mean, I would always say, you know, like if that would never be me. Like to be honest, I was naive. I was so naive. Like, not that would never happen to me. No, never. But here I am sitting, you know, it's me. Stupid. My guard is definitely up way more than it's ever been. And yeah, I fucked up, you know. I fucked up. So it's
Wait,
so
Bam,
stupid.
I thought you were joking. He actually was sending you pictures of him in a nightie?
Yeah. Okay. I hope everybody has a great night and see you guys this weekend on Andrews.
All right. Take care,
Bye.
Swag. Don't beat yourself up too much. Thank you for coming up. And now we're arguing about wrestling. Ash Bama said that Steve 6.8 sent her pictures of him wearing a nightie. Apparently, he had told a couple of people he was into cross dressing. Bama said he sure was. She had to block him and leave Discord. Oh, damn. See, I never heard any of this. Never heard any of this. I think I was vaguely aware of the video Tonic did about him, but it didn't really cross my radar that Steve 6.8 was the guy that had been in chats. I never connected the dots. I thought he was just doing a hit piece on somebody. Taco and Yoshi with $2 says CC makes tens of thousands each live stream. Oh, Jesus. If only that were true. Ash, I don't know how much you can blackmail somebody who's already on a non-compliant sex offenders registry. I don't think that works that way. Hi, Philippines needs money. I am not DFK. I do not give away money. This is not true. Do not listen to Taco. He tells fibs. He's fibbing. He's a fibber. Bama Green Eyes says she left YouTube for a while as well. Happily married, 48 years, and didn't enjoy seeing pink and red nighties on a man. Well, what color do you prefer? STL says, what's the big deal? Bird and Bones sends him pics of themselves in nighties all the time. On the Turtle Boy update front, I might as well. So Turtle Boy had a hearing on Tuesday, I think, in which his lawyer had gone in and argued that they wanted his electronic devices back because they've had him for a while and he needs them to continue his career of serious journalisming. And apparently there had been some agreement placed early on that the prosecution would not image his devices, but only search them specific to the stuff listed in the warrant. Because ordinarily what they'll do is they'll seize your phone or whatever. They'll take a snapshot of it, image everything that's on the phone. Hello, Batty. Image everything that's on the phone. Keep that snapshot because that is up to the time of the warrant being served, and then typically we'll give the devices back in theory. But since they put in this motion to not have the devices imaged, they're hanging on to them so that they can be searched as necessary to find the information they need as it comes up. So his lawyer put in, basically they tried to do an end run. They put in this motion to not have him go through the stuff, not have him image it, and then put in this motion to get the stuff back, which is an attempt to get the device back unimaged. Didn't work. The judge said not only no, but hell no. We're not doing that. They get to keep the devices. Not only that, at the same time, in another court across town, in another case, the court ordered that his device needed to be searched for some video he had of an altercation with somebody outside of a courthouse that was unrelated. So they needed that copy. So it goes from the state police to this other court, and then likely will go right back to him. But in the argument as to why they could not give the devices back at this time, the prosecution in the 9 felonies said that a grand jury was being convened for an indictment and that the information on those devices was important to that. At which point Turtle Boy looked like somebody had walked over his friggin' grave, because I think he still thinks he's getting out of this. He still thinks that that he's got some sort of journalistic shield protection in Massachusetts. Pro tip: if you're going to be a journalist in Massachusetts, it's one of the very few states that doesn't have a journalist shield law. So your sources are not protected. Or that somehow his harassing of witnesses in a murder trial are okay because he said, I'm not a threat a couple of times while saying you'll never be able to go out in public again. Shit like that. Or while going and screaming at somebody during their child's sports game. Like he's in the stands screaming cop killer at somebody who's not even accused, not even a suspect. He's screaming it at them at their child's sporting game while filming it and saying, I'll be back after being escorted out. He doesn't think those are intimidation and threats, or filming in somebody's front door while he's walking up to their house going, can I just ask you a few questions? This shit. So I suspect that there is an indictment coming down the road that has a little more teeth to it. If you look at sentencing in Massachusetts, you'll see that like charges. So one of his charges, 8 of his charges are actually intimidation of a witness, just against different witnesses. So if you look at that, the sentence for that is can be 2.5 years or 20 years. And the distinction is the 2.5 years is if it's prosecuted locally, 20 years is if it goes to a grand jury and an indictment is handed down and it becomes a state prosecution. So in Massachusetts, it's kind of like state versus federal in other places, but it's within the state. So the one he's charged with now would be the 2.5 year max sentence. The one that they would convene a grand jury to indict him on would be the up to 20-year sentence per count. He's got 8 counts. That's a long time. And then he's got a conspiracy charge. And then he's got 4 protesting charges for leading his little parade of idiots through town and standing on people's yards and screaming at them and shit. So he's looking at some pretty serious court action, and he doesn't seem to be taking it seriously. And he also somehow, deep in his twisted little brain, he seems to believe that somehow this whole conspiracy is going to become exposed, and the people that he harassed are going to turn into defendants in the murder trial, and therefore they aren't witnesses, and therefore his case goes away because the people he harassed weren't actually witnesses. They were actually the guilty parties in this conspiracy that he spun from like 5 people to 5 people and the local police department and the FBI and the state police and multiple judges and a DA and 2 special prosecutors and possibly somebody else as well. It's just like every time they find a new layer to add to this, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. He's facing some pretty good time. I mean, even Merb, and as y'all know how I feel about Merb, even Merb said, yeah, he's fucked. He just won't accept that he's fucked. But he has this weird belief that he's just going to win this by doxing people. And that's the funniest thing. He hasn't stopped. He's still doing exactly what he was doing before. If he finds somebody that he thinks is part of the other side, he puts all their information out on his stupid blogs. This is the shit he's getting in trouble for, and he's still doing it. Because I think he thinks that's how you do journalism. He thinks that's what you do. It's weird, but I've never seen Wolf Blitzer decide to break something open and then do a long ass blog with pictures of people's kids, calling them fat and stupid and ugly and making horrible comments about them. I've never seen an actual journalist do that. I've seen a blogger do that. I've seen Turtle Boy do that. And Nat Clo, this has nothing to do with Kate. You may not believe this, and I don't know what the hell happened to you, but you should really sort it the fuck out. But this has nothing to do with Kate. This is entirely to do with Turtle Boy and his embroilment, his use by the defendant in a murder trial as a mouthpiece to put out privileged information that was leaked to him that he shouldn't have had before it was even posted to the court, that he was talking about and claiming he had copies of. Shit like that is why he's got issues going on. Not to mention the fact that he, and here's some names you'll probably recognize, he's tied up in this with the Glarer, and is it Bombshell? Or no, it's Bullhorn Betty, I think. Starlight can help me out here. And Morbid, Jimmernam. So now that sort of little mess will probably get going, and then it'll be really funny. Ash, he straight up said that a lot of lawyers would tell you to shut up, but his lawyer told him to keep on talking and keep on doing what he was doing. He flat out said that. He said his lawyer told him to keep talking. Then he said he had paid his lawyer a flat fee. So, you can do the math there. I think maybe his lawyer wrote in and went, yep, I'll take this amount of money. And when it runs out, I'd see you. I mean, I'm just going to say, if Turtle Boy had wanted his sources protected, that when he was arrested and his 6 phones and multiple other devices had been taken, he probably should have stayed mum and not given them his password, instead of giving them his password so they could dig his mom's phone number out of the phone so he could call his mommy and tell her he had been arrested. That's how they got into his shit, because he doesn't know his mom's phone number. And there was another one when he was convinced he was going to get arrested again. And he went out because he live streams now and he walks his kids to the bus in the morning. He live streams and he looks around like the dude in The Fugitive running. When he was convinced he was going to get arrested again, he had phone numbers written on his hand in Sharpie, in black Sharpie. If you find his morning live stream, I think they're on Facebook, where he's walking back in the house, convinced he's about to be arrested. He's got Sharpie scribbled on his hand, like a kindergartner, like which bus to take home. It's so hilarious. No, Taco the lawyer's not that good at arguing. The lawyer actually submitted an appeal or submitted a motion that cited a case that's not really applicable, to the point where the judge responded with appellate court decisions, which basically slapped the motion down entirely and went, not only do I disagree, the appellate court does as well. So have fun with that. Batty, he does have a big mouth, and Turtle Boy's claim to fame has always been that if you don't bend to his will, he will dox the ever-living shit out of you and your entire family on his blog. That's what he does. And people are afraid of him. And he also has sources and contacts within, government and other groups that feed him information. And I think that's probably one of the reasons he's shitting himself so much on the whole holding his phone thing and the conspiracy charge, because thank you, Taco. The conspiracy charge, because other people will be outed. I know, I can't guarantee it, but I'm pretty sure a lot of phones that used to return his calls have now lost his number simply because they don't want to be part of his conspiracy shit. Like, if you know somebody is charged with conspiracy, you're not going to continue being a source for them. It's just, that's the way things tend to work. So and since this, he has called himself Journalism Jesus. Since he was in shackles when he was arraigned, he basically called himself, he said he was basically Kunta Kinte. He has called himself Martin Luther King because he drove a parade of people of Walmart honking their horns and screaming at people through bullhorns and harassed the family and witnesses in the case. He's called himself basically Gandhi. I mean, just where this guy's head is at is insane. It's ridiculous. And he's spending more time in court these days than he is, quote unquote, reporting. So, I mean, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, I guess. But that's where we're at on that one. Layla, let me just give you a clue as to how much of a narcissist he is. He worked on his mugshot face. And when he got his mugshot face taken, it pretty much looks like somebody on a registry. And he put his aliases in when he got booked as Daddy and Uncle Turtle Boy. And because he thinks that calling himself Daddy is cute. And he has actually made t-shirts. He sells t-shirts with his mugshot on it and the caption, "Daddy is ready to fuck," around it. Because that's what he says when people say, when he talks about the fact that he's going to be in court arguing, he says, "Daddy's ready to fuck." That's how he thinks court is done, by saying things like that. Like, he's so out of touch with everything. And then when he gets smacked down by the court, every time he goes, "They're just boomers. They don't know how the law works. That's not how the law works." It's like, dude, that's a judge. They're the ones that do know how the law works. That's what they do. If you're sure it's going to go one way and multiple judges look at you and go, "Nah," then they're not the ones who don't know how the law works. It's you, guy. It's you. So that's the update on that. Yeah, it's going to be worth keeping an eye on. The main case, the thing that this is all built around, is the Karen Reed case in Massachusetts. She's a woman that's accused of backing into and killing her police officer boyfriend with her Lexus, and then driving home without telling anyone. And then the next morning going out and, quote unquote, discovering his body. And they have now spun this. And she initially, when her first set of lawyers when she had her first lawyer, she said that it was booked as manslaughter, I think, and that it had been a tragic mistake, a tragic accident. Then she got these new lawyers, one of whom is his name's Jackson, and he defended Harvey. I think he defended Weinstein. I know he defended Kevin Spacey, and he is known for getting people's phones, getting the phones from the people involved with the prosecution, the witnesses, and finding things about them and putting them out there and like kind of making them uncomfortable with testifying. So it's a perfect fit with Turtle Boy. And at that point, she changed her story when the charges went up to murder 2, which tells me that the defense or the prosecution found some shit that changed it from manslaughter to murder 2. So some intent there or actions that were done that would make it not accidental. But there's a whole deep sorted bunch of weird stuff. There's a guy on TikTok called Boundless Millennial who's really funny and has hit some of the high points of the case. He's hilarious about it, but they're now, like I said, they're spinning. The answers are, dude got out of her car to go to a party at these people's house. She started to drive away. She backed up and she hit him, and then she left. And he died in the snow in the front yard of this house. And then she found him the next morning, roughly 6 hours later. So that's one story. The conspiracy is that he walked into the house, was attacked by a dog, was put in a chokehold by somebody else, was punched multiple times by someone, was beaten in the head somehow, was then carried outside, deposited on the lawn, and left there. Now, and keep in mind, at the time within the house was at least one, if not 2 police officers and multiple other people, all of whose stories have not changed since day one, that he never walked into the house. Absent all that, you've got a police officer who's never had so much as a question in his record, who goes, you know what? How are we going to cover this up? I know, leave him on the front lawn. I mean, the whole conspiracy, no matter which way you look at it, is completely ridiculous, but people are clinging to it because, again, they want to be part of something. They want to be part of something. So you've got all of these people following his blogs and following his Facebook and following his Twitter who are like, yeah, you're onto something. We're going to solve the mystery. We're totally like Scooby-Doo, man. And they're just hanging on his every word. And now they're so invested in it that they can't let go and have to keep spinning more and more ridiculous theories to cover the conspiracy when Occam's razor pretty much says she had a broken rear tail light on her vehicle. He had microscopic pieces of tail light in his clothing, which were recovered from the hospital. There were broken pieces of the tail light found at the scene. There's like Occam's razor is she backed up, she hit him. That's no dog, no fight, no being beaten in the head with anything, no people hiding him in the middle of the yard at 2:30 in the morning. That's basically what it boils down to. I've looked at all the evidence that I could get my hands on. I've read it a bunch of different ways. There's no way anything makes sense to me, but she backed up and she hit him, especially when her defense changed from, it was a tragic accident, I might have hit him and not noticed, to, oh, no. There's this massive conspiracy that involves 5 police agencies, 3 courts, multiple news organizations, like 400 people are involved in this conspiracy. No, it doesn't work that way. So that wraps up that. All right, folks, it's been an hour and 17 minutes. I appreciate everyone here. Thank you, Taco, for the $2, Audie for the $20, and Ben for the $2. Maybe that will finally get me into AdSense payout. I haven't seen a payout from AdSense in like 4 months, so maybe this will push me over that magic $100 limit because, I make so much money on this. And here's Prester John to whine and cry. Watch out, folks. Corrosive supports grifters. Staff Tonic AC, all have grifted for money, and that Corrosive supports them. Not supporting anybody. I'm allowing people up to speak, Prester. That's what I'm doing. Why don't you fuck off back to Huck's chat and blow smoke up her asshole some more, Prester John? That's your good buddy, Huck. Anyway, thanks, everybody. I hope everybody has a wonderful, wonderful rest of the week. Great weekend. Be well. Have fun. Try not to be a whiny, cranky sourpuss like this little fuck right here. And have a great one.